Hey there and welcome back to my channel. Today we are decorating for Christmas 2022 in the living room. This is part 1 of my decorating series. Definitely be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. And so I'm so excited to get into this video. I had my 12-foot green tree up. Last year I did do my 12-foot flock tree. And this year I just wanted to go back to more of a natural, warm and cozy look. And so we are using this tree that I've had for a few years. So like 30% of the lights were working and the rest were out. I tried to start replacing bulbs and it just wasn't going to happen. So I ended up buying these cluster lights on Amazon, and they are really easy to work with. They don't tangle up very much, and they have 8 different modes. Really the only thing I have to complain about them is that they don't plug into one another, but I just had to have several plugs in the back and keep them organized, but it still worked out, and I love how these lights turned out. They did not take long to put on the tree at all. So the obvious first steps when putting up your tree is to put up the tree, to fluff the branches, and check all your lights. So I got all that done, and now I'm doing my first step, which is going to be adding in more greenery. I want this tree to be very lush, and usually I'll add in stems at this point, but this year I'm trying something different and I'm using garland. That is that popular Norfolk pine garland from A Floral. I'm going to be using 3 of those, and I also have 3 different types of garlands that I'm putting into this tree, and I'm kind of just wanting to swirl them around the tree and make the tree kind of like it's twirling. So this is another set that I got at Hobby Lobby, and it's got some gold tips on it. It's a really beautiful garland. And I know you're probably thinking I'm crazy putting this garland on the tree, but trust me, it turns out looking so lush and full. And I wasn't originally planning to do this, but I got that A Floral garland in, and I just kind of stuck it on the tree, kind of get a little more of a modern look. And I loved how it looked, but I didn't have enough of that garland to do the whole tree. So I ended up coming up with this combination of the 2 Hobby Lobby and the A Floral garland. I did 3 sets of each. This mixed green is from Hobby Lobby as well, and it's got eucalyptus in it and berries. And I just love how this turned out with the greenery twirling around the tree. And wait until you see it in the end. It's just amazing. I got all the greenery in place on the tree, my next step was going to be to work on the topper. My original thought was to use these picks and just stick them in throughout the top of the tree and have them poking out. I used this gold one from Hobby Lobby with the pine cones, and the silver one I've had for a while. I think it's from Hobby Lobby too, but it was a few years back. So I did do this off camera. My camera did die, and I hated it. I'll show you guys here what it looked like. It was just way too wild and woodsy for me, and I wanted something a little more manicured and tailored. So I ended up taking this down, and I ended up putting up a big black velvet bow, and I have the ribbon cascading down and weaving in and out the tree. It came out looking so elegant and chic. I can't wait for you to see it. Okay, so now we've added our greenery, we have the ribbon on the top of the tree, and now we're going to be adding in some larger ornaments into the inside of the tree just to fill in some gaps. And they're very sparkly and large, and they reflect the lights of the tree whenever they're on, and I think this is a great tip for just filling in space before you start adding in all of your fun little accent ornaments. Next up, I'm going to add some more stems. I have these gold ones from Hobby Lobby and silver ones. They are from Michael's last year on clearance. At the end of the season, I'm going to start adding them in, kind of just like making them part of the garland and doing that same swirl motion, and I'm alternating gold, silver, and it turns out beautiful. So as I'm editing this footage, I'm realizing I did not do a great job capturing every step that I was trying to do for putting this tree together. One, I had a vision, but it wasn't quite coming together, so I kept getting lost. And 2, it's just a big production when you're trying to decorate a 12-foot tree and you have a toddler, and like I said, my husband's working a lot, so I've got a lot on my plate and, you know, just life going on. So this isn't typical for me, but I do feel like this video is a little bit disjointed, but I feel like when I got to this step, this is when it really took off and set the tree in the right direction. I found these crystal diamond jewel ornaments a few months ago, I saw, you might be familiar with her. Her name is, or she goes by Gina Loves Christmas. She has a YouTube channel, and she did a garland with these, and I just loved these jewels, and I wasn't even sure what I was going to do with them, but I went ahead and ordered some. They are not cheap, but they pretty much make my tree this year, and they are gorgeous. So I'd say these are statement ornaments. So I'm going to go ahead and add all of these in before I start placing the rest of my ornaments. I want to make sure I can space them out all to where you see an ornament like this throughout the tree, up and down, everywhere. And I'm adding in this velvet ribbon from Walmart. It's kind of a burgundy, and it's a beautiful burgundy. Velvet is very on trend this year as far as doing ribbons with it, and I am loving it. I am here for it. I am using black velvet ribbon and this burgundy velvet. I also have some red velvet. I couldn't get enough of this burgundy, so I'm using some red too in other parts of my home. And oh my god, you guys, I am loving these jewels. Let me know what you think. Is this something you would consider? It kind of reminds me of some ornaments from when I was younger with like the burgundy ribbon, but smaller jewels. I just remember something like this from my childhood. I'm not exactly sure, but oh my gosh, it is gorgeous, and I am playing with these like they're earrings. I had so much fun. Once I got these on the tree, I started having so much more fun. After I got the first crystal in place, it kind of just took off from there, and I really need to get this tree done and get this living room back in order for the week. So I put the camera down and I just did it, and I'm gonna take you through the rest of the steps. So I placed all these crystals in like a zigzag pattern throughout the tree, and I alternated the shapes. I love how these turned out. It's an awesome pop of bling that we needed here. And yeah, so we have that red velvet burgundy ribbon that I'm loving this season. And after I got all these in place, I ended up focusing back on the topper. Like I said, I have this black velvet ribbon, and I'll show you at nighttime because it's kind of hard to see with the daylight coming in right now. So I had this black velvet ribbon on top. I didn't reinvent the wheel with making this, so if you do want a tutorial, let me know, but there are several videos out there that can teach you how to do this. And then I added in these silver picks throughout the top, just to kind of crown it and top it off, and I love it. It's very symmetrical. And then I started weaving in the black velvet ribbon throughout the tree. And again, I didn't reinvent the wheel here. I'm just tucking in smaller and longer pieces, and I'm using the branches to secure it. And I'm just kind of trying to make it look like it's weaved in throughout and cascading down the tree. I love how the black turned out in the tree. It goes really well with our home. And then after I got the ribbon figured out, I ended up going in and just placing some little ornaments throughout where I needed some pops of color, or there was like a gap that needed to be covered up. I used mostly mercury glass, gold, silver, and red ornaments, and I love how this turned out. And then my last step was just to add in some twinkle lights, and oh yeah, and the box for the tree. I'll show you what the box looks like in another clip, but yeah, so here's the tree, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know this video is disjointed. I promise my next videos will not be like this. I feel like just with Christmas tree filming in general, I'm all over the place. Everything else is a lot more straightforward to me, but with these Christmas trees and trying to do them different every year, it just kind of evolves over time and things change. You do something, you take it down. You know, thank you for bearing with me, and I look forward to the next part. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Do your PJs match the tree? Hey, jeez.